Everybody, it's Dave from a greater town. As you all know, we love to feature small businesses, local small businesses, and their owners and their stories. We like to say that we're taking back Main Street. So today we have Shane with us from Coastal Contractors. Shane has been well, I'll let Shane tell the story. So, Shane, tell us just start off with some super basic info. Where do you live? Where are you from? What's the business name? And then we'll get into some of the more fun stuff.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I'm Shane with Florida Coastal Contractors. We're a design build company based out of St. Augustine, Florida,
Hmm.
specializing in pools, outdoor kitchens, pavers,
Yeah.
fireplaces, screen rooms,
Okay.
just about anything to customize your backyard.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll get into some of the projects. I saw some and they're gorgeous. But before we do, one of the things that a greater town really tries to focus on is the story behind the business, right? Are you from the area? So I'll walk through some of the sort of usual questions around that part of the interview. So there it is. There's the first one. Are you from St. Augustine?
I was born at the Navy Hospital
Uh-huh.
in NAS Jacksonville, at the Naval Air Station.
Yeah. Is that called
And
Mayport?
then, no, that's the one that's on the St. Johns River.
Okay.
um, Kind of on 17 by 295.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
But no, I grew up small little neighborhood there, nice little middle class neighborhood, and did my schooling around there and a little bit of college at FCCJ, and decided that the office life was not going to be for me. I wanted to be outdoor,
Yeah.
doing projects outdoors, working with my hands, learning from my mentors,
Yep.
and that's the direction that I took.
Yeah. That's awesome. So then okay, so you're a native essentially from northeast Florida. Yeah, and have
Correct.
been here for, yeah, okay. So just coincidentally, I live in St. Johns County, northern St. Johns County. So, I'm very familiar with the area, although I'm not from here. Um, in the specific pocket that I live in, it's not very common to meet people from Jacksonville or the area. That everybody's like a transplant from the Midwest or
There are.
New York, and whatever. So yeah, it's cool. All right, so you're from the area, you've stayed in the area, and now you didn't want to live the office life, which, I sometimes wish I had not chosen the office life. Um, and you went into contracting. So, did you start the business right away, like very young, or did you sort of work with others
Um,
first, and how did that get going?
Around 1990, I took a job with East Coast Systems, a
Hmm.
metal roofing company, and several of my friends, we decided that we were going to go in the specialized metal roofing.
Hmm.
Then this thing called a hurricane hit Miami,
Oh,
Hurricane
wow.
Andrew in 92.
Oh, I remember
Pretty
that.
bad hurricane.
I think it was on my
And we,
birthday.
oh,
Yeah.
well, I can't remember that date,
Yeah.
but I can tell you I was very happy for the 2 years that I spent down there working on multiple jobs.
Yeah.
That I learned that that's something that I really didn't care for that much either, because I was the worker bee, and it's a part of the business. You have to have workers, you have to have leaders, you have to have owners,
Right.
and I just kind of looked at the balance of that and thought, well, if I can be an owner one day, this would be a really good position. So in 1994, after saving up a very small sum of money, we purchased a gutter machine, and that's when the company was born.
Right.
And that company was First Coast Rain Guard.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
we
that's
did
so.
that for several years. Bought two more gutter machines. Started doing more predominantly siding, windows, sunrooms, screen rooms,
Hmm.
four season glass rooms, um, 40-foot vinyl siding, which was also a franchise that nobody had, Schuco windows, German technology, made in America, and Sundance Hot Tubs
So,
was
so,
another
so at this point, so,
franchise.
so if I follow the timeline, right, at 92, it's metal roofs, and you got the gutter machine, so that's 94, and then, things evolve, of course, and, so now, like, where are you now? You're like in 1998, late 90s, approximately, as the business kind of evolved?
Yeah, quite predominantly involved. We
Yeah.
in 2002, I went through a transition in life, and we decided to sell a part of the business that did the windows, the siding, the hot tubs, the franchise products.
Hmm.
We wanted to be more of a company that sold fun items. I mean, sure, it's fun when you're sitting on this side of the desk and you're looking at, great, we sold 20 roofs this month. We sold 80 windows. Well, that's fun for certain people.
Hmm.
We wanted products that's fun that the customer actually, oh yeah, it's a great window. Well, what about a great backyard?
Yeah.
What about a
Right.
beautiful outdoor kitchen? That's where you get to form your family, cook,
Yeah.
make memories. You don't make memories standing on top of your roof or in
Yeah.
front of a window.
Looking at
You
a
might
gutter.
look out the
Yeah.
window to see some memories, but we just wanted to bring more of the products that people love every day.
Yeah.
And that's the kitchens, the room additions, increasing the square footage of their home, uh, swimming pools, um, outdoor fireplaces, so many lighting packages. You can't go outside at night and enjoy your backyard if you don't have low voltage lighting. So all the little small pieces that connect the dots, people like one contractor to
Right.
perform their complete backyard.
Yeah.
If you
So,
can,
so, I got to tell you, so I'm from New York, right? Um, and of course, the weather is different there. You don't get to spend as much time outside as you do down here. And it's one of the reasons why we moved. And what made me think of that now, listening to you tell you the story, is you're 100% right about the time that we spend outside in our backyard, which, is we love it. It's like it's the memories that are being made there. It's a lot of the pictures we have are out there. So it's your thing about having the fun part, right? It truly is the part of our home that is, where we enjoy, and it's one of the main reasons why we moved down here. So you're spot on about hitting that part of a family's, life, right? The fun part. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, so, well, okay, so that you said 2002, you kind of transitioned to the fun part, backyards and maybe some other things. And so now still a long time ago. So the business has stayed, maybe evolved, but since 2002, it's been focused more on the backyard space. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We got involved in developing some waterfront properties, building a few houses, still maintaining the contracting business. And then, of course, what happened in 2008, it kind of, the recorrection, if you will,
Right.
happened for a lot of people. And we were able to weather the storm and come back even stronger. COVID was a tough time for people.
Right.
Um, we've seen our sales almost double. We felt really bad about that because all my friends in the restaurant business
Oh
didn't
yeah.
have much business.
Yep.
It was a very, very sad, tough time for some people. And here we are having record months building beautiful dream backyards because people couldn't get out and experience the
Right.
world. They didn't know what was going to
Right.
happen. They were scared. And
Yep.
they called people like us, and we came out and we're getting jobs done in record time
Hmm.
when other companies were overselling jobs, taking a deposit, and oh, we'll get to you when we get to you.
Yeah,
Well, we don't operate
delays.
that way.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, we want to sell. We know what we can build because we don't want to sell 10 swimming pools in a month. We cannot build that. But if we sell four or five, I can build that in 60 to 90 days.
Hmm.
Now, if it has the outdoor kitchen or a big screen or some other components, that's going to add a little bit more time.
Yeah.
We all know that. Or like this last rain season, my goodness gracious, we had rain almost every day. But I can tell you, our guys are not going to go home. We have more of an employee based company than a
Hmm.
subcontractor based company.
Right.
So they'll go up to the gas station, get them a Snickers bar, a Coca Cola, wait 20 minutes. And what happens in Florida?
Yeah.
The rain's gone.
Gone.
Let's
Yeah.
get back to work.
Yeah.
So we look for a reason to work.
Yeah.
We look for a reason to get the job done. And that's what our customers love the most.
I'm really glad you brought that up. I wouldn't have remembered to ask that, but now that you say it about the employee base versus subcontractor.
Correct.
So we when we got down to Florida, we put in a pool, and I had no idea. We never built a pool before. So the contractor did the thing, and of course, I didn't know, but they were really just all subcontractors. I mean, like literally every single part, the plumbing, the electrical, the guy who dug the hole, the mason, not masonite, what is it called? A concrete sprayer, tile guy. Everybody was a subcontractor. The guy who did the patio pavers, every single part of it was a subcontractor. So of course, what happens is, all those subcontractors are on different schedules. They all have different priorities pulling them left and right. So the scheduling became really hard and delayed, right? Now, look, it got done. They did a good job. But it was a surprise to me. So to hear that you are, leaning more towards the employee-based model is really good news.
Well, it's you have more control
Right.
when you have your own. You own your own equipment.
Yep.
You have your own workers. They're on an 8 to 5 schedule, or sometimes we have to work a Saturday.
Right.
Or we have multiple designers. We have to go on a 5 o'clock appointment. As a matter of fact, I got home at 7:30 last night,
Yeah.
but I had a great
Okay.
meeting with an awesome client in Ponte Vedra, and I think we're going to be doing some work with them. So there's different sides to the company, the design side, the building side, and then you have the scheduling in the office where I happen to be at today
Right.
is where probably the most important part happens because anybody can sell a job, right?
Yep.
If you're anybody can sell a job, but the question is, can they get the job built in a timely fashion?
Yeah.
Can they get it built without having to come up with a change order because they forgot something? They didn't do a detailed scope of work. And that change order is a very, let's just call it a nasty word
Hmm.
because people plan X amount for the price and the price comes out different
Yep.
because they forgot something. They didn't go through everything with the customer, the complete contract on a big screen TV and spend a couple of hours and go through every single item. So therefore, there's no, well, we talked about this. Well,
Right.
if we talk about it, it needs to go on the contract.
Yep.
So it's got to be fun. It's got to be fair for both sides, and it's got to be full of information for everything that's going in your yard.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, that brings up my other question. Design versus build, right? It sounds like you may have just answered the question. You're doing everything. You have designers on the team that are, and that's probably one of the first steps. I mean, you meet with the client and then your designers get involved and you guys figure out what it's going to do, what the features, what it's going to look like, and then create the contract. Because without the design, you don't know what's going in it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Um,
Yeah, the design is the roadmap
Yeah.
to the destination.
Yeah.
You know, we some people they'll keep it so simplified. It's going to be problematic. It will be because the details need to be there. And we believe starting with education,
Oh
a
yeah.
good design, a good scope of work is the best culture you can have in your company for success.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna dig into this a little bit because my dad was a painter, so like it's a different trade, but similar ideas, right? And the experience that I went through building my pool, there was a lot of things that the guy didn't ask me, right? Like, I'm just going to try to think of a silly example. Where the outlets should go, right? In the kitchen, the outdoor kitchen. Where the door was going to go for the screened enclosure. Like, 20, 30, 40 little details like that. And then, later on when you're in the project and you decide, oh, well, it shouldn't do this, it should do that. Well, guess what? Now that change order comes in. So I didn't know to ask the questions when they were, scoping the project.
sure.
But that sounds like, you're taking the leadership role there and asking us, the client, all these questions so that you don't get stuck with a change order later on and you know everybody ends up being happier if you kind of get through that in the beginning.
Absolutely. If the right things are asked, documented,
Yeah.
suggested,
Right.
a lot of people they don't know what they want. They're looking
Right.
to you.
Right.
They're looking to you for the answers.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to get three or four or five quotes. They want to be with one contractor that completes the complete task,
Right.
the scope of work. They don't want to have to call up because a lot of people only have one state license. They're not
Right.
able to build the pool and the room addition, the pool and the outdoor kitchen, the pool, the concrete footer, and the screen. They're not able to do that. You have to have multiple licenses to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of have a full service approach.
Mm-hmm.
And people really like that because who wants to have a job where you have to call up the gas company, the electrician, the air conditioning man on a room addition? You have to do a bunch of work yourself when you shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's why being very selective when you find your contractor, number one, it's got to be fair. And I always tell people, this is one of the biggest things that I say.
Mm-hmm.
If it feels good in your head,
Mm-hmm.
your heart, and your gut, that's the contractor that you need to go forward with. We hope it's us, but if you've gotten warm and fuzzy and you feel like you're being taken care of, if it feels good in those three places, that's the person to go
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So we are just to go back to the timeline. 2002, you went change the business. We talked a lot about how that works. And so now we're in, 2026. So you've been, that part of the business has been around. So what is that? Uh
I think this
24 years?
September, with 32 years this
Yeah.
September,
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
that's not good because you're making
Yeah.
me feel old, sir.
Well, I can compete with you. I got just as much grays. Um, no, look, the numbers out there, right? Like something like 92% of small businesses fail, right? And so if you've been around now for 30 plus years, that is a giant accomplishment. You should be really, really proud of it. I mean, and the only way for that to happen is if people love the work you're doing. So congratulations, honestly. You should be
Thank
really
you.
proud of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to spend just a minute just switching. I'm going to share my screen so I can show everybody that's watching and listening, well, watching some of the work you've done, right? Okay, so this is Florida Coastal Contractors website. So I was on here earlier and there was one. Let me see if I'm on the right page. No.
You're bringing back memories right there.
Yeah. Oh man, I must have switched the page. Hold on, I really want to find. Here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. This looks super cool. Actually, this reminds me. Oh, what's the guy's name? He was an architect in the 50s. I'm gonna forget, but it reminds me of like the houses he used to make.
Yeah,
So
that was a
so
real abstract design.
uh
We had the roof positioned that angle, so when he played his acoustic guitar, it would reverberate back towards the house.
uh-huh.
Um, they let me pick. I picked every single. Well, let's back up a second. I asked them three questions: Where'd you get married? Where'd you get married at? And what was the first song that you danced to? And of course, it was Key West, Jimmy Buffett, and from there, I played out that knowledge that I extracted from them of what, because they didn't know what they wanted.
Yeah.
So I chose this really kind of a coral colored stucco with a complementary travertine backsplash, lots of storage, a big high bar at your height that you might see at, Chili's or Longhorn.
Yeah.
Uh, the stain was just a beautiful dark stain. Actually, that was a two-tone stain. Then because the yard had a big slope on it, we had to put retaining wall around it to retain all the pavers
Hmm.
around the pool. And yeah, that was right there was a fun job. And that was probably that was a good 12 years ago,
Oh wow.
12 to
I'm
14 years
not
ago.
like I love talking about projects like this because I never would have thought that the reason the roof is angled the way it is so that the acoustics when the guy plays his guitar, like that's the reason why the the roof is angled like that. But it's so smart that it worked out that way.
It was nicknamed the Stealth Wing Bomber
Oh
roof
yeah.
style.
Right,
It's
okay.
it's if you could see it from a drone, which back then they didn't have
Yeah.
the drones like they do today, but if you could see it on the blueprint, it looks like a stealth wing bomber wing.
Right, right.
It's a pretty cool design.
Yeah, that's cool. And then there was another one I was looking at over here. This one right here. This
Yep,
looks,
that right
yeah.
there was a complete room addition, fireplace, automatic retractable screens, a level 5 exotic granite. Their son at the time was about 12. If you can see that little open hole right there at the end,
Yeah, right here.
there's a trash can hiding behind there. So their son, when I was actually hand drawing this job at their kitchen table. I'm like, well, we got no place to put the trash. And he had thought about because his father was the CFO of Firehouse Subs, how when they throw the trash away, they throw the trash in this little,
Oh yeah.
your trash. So he had came up with that. So we integrated the son's idea. We actually got a plate out and measured it, and so that was his contribution to that project.
Oh, that is so cool.
That one right there was
Yeah.
very dear to my heart. That was one of our biggest jobs. That job right there, that was around 2011. That
Uh-huh.
job right there.
Yeah. So what a cool story. And it's so smart to have the trash opening. Sometimes you see it like on the top, more in restaurants or fast food places, like, the hole for the trash, right, at the top of the counter. And I don't know that I would want to do that in my outdoor kitchen, but to have it on the side like that, sort of hidden, is actually brilliant. That's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
the the young man wanted to be in construction. We
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
we had to have some of his influence in there.
yeah. Maybe he's gonna be your next hire. So he's got to be 20 something by now, right?
He got into swimming, and if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken, he did some stuff with the oh, I'm trying to think of the name. The Olympic swimming,
Mm-hmm.
diving swimming.
Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
I think his dreams. I hadn't spoke to him. I know that Burger King bought Firehouse Subs, so I do need to reach out to Mr. Vince and say hi and see how he's doing.
All
Thanks
right.
for reminding me. I'm going to make a note of that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. All right, very
Bring
cool.
back some memories. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. That's like I said at the beginning of the show, this is exactly what this is about. We're local businesses, real people that live in the area doing good things for everybody that lives here. That's what this is really about. I'm pretty good with how far we've gotten. I loved hearing, your story and how the business has evolved. Well, let's close with this. Tell anybody that is listening, watching, how they can reach out to you. I mean, we'll share, contact information, the show notes, and all that kind of stuff, but we'd like to hear it from you.
Yes, the best way to get a hold of us
Yeah.
is you can go to our website, which is dreambackyardbuilders.com. That's
Okay.
with an S, dreambackyardbuilders.com. The phone number is 904-827-3962, or you can visit us at our YouTube channel, Florida Coastal Contractors. That's probably the best way to get into our system. We track every call that comes in. When you call, you'll automatically receive an email. So we're already starting the proper way to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you choose email, text, we have a computer system designed that we're always in touch.
Yeah.
So, and I always tell people that when you buy from us, you're a member of the family.
Yeah.
And we automatically form a group text with all the decision makers. So at all times, there's not a moment that we can't reach out and get a quick update,
Right.
or if someone wants to change something. So big in communication.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how you get a hold of us. And we look forward to seeing some people in the future and build some beautiful jobs.
All right. Cool. Thank you, Shane.